the healer, the seer, and the teacher. So I'm going to start with the healer. Just the other day, I gave a trance medium healing online that involved channeling Jesus again. And I love these healings. They're very non-effort, they're very powerful, very easy to do, and you can get a lot done in a short amount of time. And basically a trance medium healing I'm just inviting, the healee up to a higher vibration for the purpose of healing, releasing unwanted energies out of their body and their energy field. And I'm basically just pointing out, hey, here's where you're clearing from. Here's the unwanted or negative energy that you're releasing from that part of your body or space. And then underneath all that, I'll usually see their energy and give that a hello, because that's important. And so, I'm seeing different things throughout this trance medium healing. And then it wasn't until I got out of I finished the healing, and, from a healer perspective with this particular type of healing, I'm out of my body. So then I'm making my way back to my physical body and wrap it all up, and then my wife and I walk outside. And it wasn't until I walked outside where I actually noticed the effect of the healing. And before I get to that, the important thing is, if you're a healer and you're giving healings, maybe you're an energy healer and you're giving healings to people, is that all healing is self-healing. Even though I'm the healer and I'm giving the healing to the healee, it's all about them and they're the ones receiving the healing. And actually it's for both. Yes, you're giving them a healing, but you're receiving a healing at the same time. And so recognizing that whatever comes up in that healing, especially that you're aware of, you have matches with that person. We're kind of all mirrors. So if there's some blockage, in this case, say like my trance medium healing that I did, I point out certain areas of their body and space. Hey, there's this unwanted energy lighting up and it's starting to release out now. I too could have a match with that. I could have a similar energy in a similar part of my body or space that's also I'm releasing from. So while this person is releasing that energy, my matching energy could be releasing out of my body and space as well. That's the cool thing. And then on the kind of other side of that is that if now that you cleared this unwanted energy, now I'm seeing this other energy. This looks like it's actually your energy. And it's this, blue energy. It's, clarity. Wow. And recognizing as a healer for myself that, I too have that quality within myself. And perhaps it's more evident now that I've released this unwanted energy. And same for the healee. So it's important as a healer to recognize this, that you'll have matches with the person you're working on. And yes, you're giving them the healing, they're receiving the healing, but you too are also receiving a healing. And when I was finished up this healing and I walked outside with my wife, that was the first thing I noticed was like, wow. I was like, I immediately felt and recognized the effects of this healing. And because I could immediately see that I created so much space around myself, and I could see my aura very clearly, kind of the edge of it. It was vibrating at this kind of clear light blue. And everything was very clear and very spacious. And I just had a sense of space, and I just felt really good. Like I was just very happy. So I love these healings. I love energy healing in general, but especially these trance medium healings. And if this is something that you're interested in, if you want to receive a healing, especially this trance medium healing, I'll link that in the description below if you want to check that out. And then there's also the seer, right? So, and especially with clairvoyance, right? People give psychic readings, clairvoyant readings, or R readings. And when you're reading someone, you too have matches. So if you see something in someone as a blockage, then you too perhaps may have a match there. You might think of it just about, they have this block, and, usually when I address or come across blockages, whether it's for myself or I'm teaching students how to work through this process, it's, okay, if you run into a block, it's not a failure, it's not a problem, say hello to that block, And then we'll take a look at a next step. How do you get unstuck? How do you overcome or move through that block or that limitation? And if they take that next step, then what changes? What do they get to have? What's on the other side of all this? Because that will kind of inspire people to go, okay, I want to go through all these steps because I want that thing on the other side, whatever that might be. And recognizing this as a psychic reader, that, yeah, again, we're all mirrors. So you might have the same blocks. This is the fun part of doing readings, is that you go, oh, wow, like, this seems kind of familiar. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck in this way too. Okay, yeah. So not only are you getting your answer information about, yeah, okay, here's the block, now I can see it clearly, and oh, here's this next step. And so, yeah, you're reading this other person, but you're also getting your own answers about something very similar. Again, we're all mirrors. This is kind of the fun part of this. You get to, when I went through my clairvoyant training, God, this was like back in 2007, a year-long clairvoyant training. I went to every reading possible because it kind of helped me get through my growth periods. You go through a lot of growth and change in these psychic trainings that I've been through and that I offer, my wife is going to offer. And it's a great way to get your kind of answers. So I love doing readings as well as a clairvoyant. And even just in your everyday life, even if you don't, I'm not a clairvoyant or I don't do psychic readings, even just these things happen whether you're aware of it or not. You could be on the subway standing next to someone, and even if you're not aware of it, matching energies are going to come up to the surface for you and that person just by standing next to them. And what I mean by the matches, again, it might be, similar blockages. It might be similar positive qualities. It could be both things at the same time. So anytime that you notice yourself, complimenting someone, you recognize some really wonderful quality in them. Sometimes, again, we make it all about them. And being able to step back and just go, oh, yeah, definitely you see that quality in them. And perhaps you've acknowledged or validated that in that person. And then also remembering, if you can recognize or see that quality in that person, you too have that same quality within yourself. So just always reminding yourself of that. Sometimes in life we don't recognize that. Even just students, that are learning to open up their third eye and look, wow, like this person has this amazing thing. I just saw it so clearly. It's amazing. And sometimes they're not, in the beginning stages, not really aware that, oh yeah, they too have the same thing within themselves. And so again, this mirror effect, recognizing the matches that you have, whether it's as a healer, in this case as a seer. And then there's the teacher, perhaps a psychic teacher, spiritual teacher. And what I've learned from teaching is that, well, I tend to learn even more as a teacher. Sometimes we look at teachers as if they know it all, and the learning has stopped. They must have acquired all the wisdom possible, and now they're going to share that with other people. And perhaps they've gotten to themselves to a point in their healing and discovery where they've kind of reached a point where they want to teach and they can do that. But it doesn't necessarily mean they know absolutely everything. Actually, what I've discovered is that I've probably, as a student, I've learned tremendously a lot, but I've probably learned way more as a teacher, just in my time of, even before I even teach a class, before I even teach a training, we'll say, just the build up to it, the creating the curriculum and outlining the classes and all the notes and everything about it. That's where I probably learned the most, because I'm gathering a lot of information, and it's me using my abilities, using my clairvoyance and whatnot to really take a look at things and gather information, put it all together, and then there's the fun part of actually teaching it and seeing it all unfold, and just allowing the surprising information to just come in the moment. So it's really a combination of those things. But before the teaching and then the actual in the class teaching. So yeah, I learn a lot as a teacher, and I imagine my teachers who have taught me and currently teach me, I imagine they probably learn a lot as teachers. So psychic teachers probably have a great affinity for growing and changing and definitely learning for sure. So yeah, if that's, if you're a teacher in spirituality, that's something to be aware of, is that it's a wonderful opportunity to grow and learn more. That it's not this stagnant place of, I've reached the top of the mountain and there's nowhere else to go. There's no bigger mountain to climb or anything like that. And I find that there's more to go. Like, I really enjoy the further opportunities of restoring myself back to wholeness through teaching and learning more about myself as spirit, and just great spirit in general, and just divine heritage, just learning so much more. So I love all these different avenues of healing and learning, and just through the healer, the seer, and the teacher.